Okay, so this is how you would have received your chassis assembled like this. How it works. Just take the screws off. I'll just do this all in real time. I might end up having to send you this video in pieces, I think, and try to make it fast. So, chassis disc, and you take off the threaded piece, and you slide off a little door for the battery, and then remove the lid. And this is what you got. So how you assemble it into a lightsaber is you get yourself from the custom saber shop. This is a 2-inch extension piece. Okay. And what you would do is, after you install this CFX soundboard, I like to do it with, let me see here. Okay, I have not rehearsed this, so you put your battery in, your 18650, it slides in this way, and I like to do it so that the wires are at the top. You don't want to do it, I'm sorry, the wires are at the bottom, I think. Yeah, the wires are at the bottom, like that. Yeah, because either that, or you can have them off to the side a little bit, because you'll have to put your 2.1 millimeter recharge port in there. Let me see if I've got one handy. 2.1 millimeter recharge port. And you'll take it, get your wires out of the way, and you'll stick it in here like that. And then get it threaded. Now I'm not going to be like really tightening everything down super hardcore or anything. I think this is no, it's the wrong size. Just trying to get this tightened down with my finger, and you can use a socket wrench too, or anything to get that tightened down. And when you do all this, you'll have it wired, but you can see why, you can kind of see why I have the battery so that the wires are off to the side, because this is going to go around that, and then these wires will be shooting off in this direction. You'll get everything wired up, and it'll all be in here. This is where all your wires are kind of gonna be. But so once you've got your battery and your recharge port in place, that's when you'll take your soundboard, and this is the CFX. I like to put this part on the top because it's easier to plug and unplug. But when you do it, you're gonna want it back in here as far as you can get it, and this is where it'll be placed, and you'll kind of notice that in the booklet that I gave you, that position. Now you can do it either way, but I've just kind of over time found it's best this way, even though in the instruction booklet it's the other way. But this just seems to be better. And when you do your wires, there's these little channels inside here. Here, I'll use this to point. These little channels inside here, your wires for your speaker will go through here. Let's see if we can get some better light here. The wires for the speaker will be passing through there. And you can kind of see, let's see if I can get some better light. There we go. And they'll pass right through there and come out through the channels, and you'll bring them all the way back out into here so that you can get it all wired up. All right, and then you'll take and you'll pass all your wires through here, get everything soldered up to the board. And I like to, as you see in the instructions, I like to take the wires, and if you look how there's little holes in the pads, I like to pass that wire through so that they just come straight down. This way they'll dip in. I've got all this little space, all this space in here, all that space is in there just for wires. And then you'll get this in here as far as you can get it. The farther back the better. And that's how, once everything's wired in, it should be sitting. You won't need to use any tape or anything. The wires, everything will hold it in place. It won't move at all. Just like in this one here. And this is the one you have probably seen in the pictures, plus I've got the other one too. This is my personal Saber. As you can see how this is that extension piece. So you can see how I've wired it. Let me see if we can focus a little better. Yep, see how all the pads are wired. And then right there for the power or the speaker and everything else, all those little things, and they go, you kind of see them in there, how they kind of go straight out the bottom, and then they go straight into that little passageway, and then everything goes out the back, and you can kind of see in there, it's all wired up in there. You can see the yellow speaker wires, they go down and then come straight out and hook to that speaker. Now, ooh, that's dusty. yeah, it's dusty. So yeah, and that's kind of what it's supposed to look like when it's completely installed. And you can see how it sits. You know, you can see its positioning. You kind of have it back too far in here. So it would be kind of more up this way. This is about where it would be sitting roughly, you know. So to get it into the chassis, or I mean to get it into a Saber, let me get this out of the way. You can kind of see its final, you know, how it's finally assembled here. So how you would get it in here once it's all, so let's just fast forward and pretend everything's in here wired up. All right, and as you got all your wires and stuff going, you're still going to have the wires shooting out this way that are going to go to your PCB for your blade. So those will still be hanging out. Okay, and you'll get that wired, and you want to leave a little length to get to your emitter. Okay, so basically the only wires you'll have coming out once everything is all done is your wires that go to your blade PCB. So then once this is done, you'll take your little door here because this door is basically just to hide all that stuff. And you just take it, get it on there, and just slides in place just like that. And this wide part in the design, how it's kind of wider there, that's where you want to be against this. It doesn't really matter, you can put it either way, but I think that aesthetically it looks a little bit better balanced. So then you have all your wires hanging out, and then you'll take this and just slide it on. Okay, and then that's how that's sitting. And then you'll take and you'll get the chassis disc, and you'll put it on, you know, and then your wires will be passing through. Boy, this video gets long quick, super quick. Should have used an electric screwdriver for this to make myself move faster. Okay. Then this is what you got, and your wires will be shooting out, your PCB will be here. And I'll set this here for a second. And then you can put your door back on. So basically at this point, it would be a working lightsaber. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Gotta make the right noises. And then you got all your pieces. So this is what I used. It's in the picture. Now, so this will now just screw onto here. Okay. And that's the body. Now let's say this represents the dead top of the lightsaber, and this is now all tight, and you're like, hey, this is crooked. So what you do is you just back it off a little bit. Okay. Well, you can tighten it down, but I'll back it off. Well, let's see here. You go in here and you got those screws you just tightened. You'll loosen them up a little bit. Just back them off a little, and then that'll give you the ability, and then put your fingers there to hold, and that'll give you an ability to kind of move it around a little bit. So I'm going to loosen up a little, and then I can rotate this, and then tighten it back down, and then rotate a little bit more until basically I get it. That's where the top of the saber is. Okay, that's not perfect, but I'm just kind of, you know. And then everything's tightened down, and now you've got basically the main body of the saber, your chassis. Then you can take your emitter, whatever emitter you have. I have a tendency to just like plain emitters like this because, you know, I can add stuff to them, as you can see, you know. But also having just a round emitter, as you can see, easier. So anyway, then you put this on. All right, and you'll have to work it out for yourself. Like, say if this is where the, you know, the thumb screw goes for the blade, you know, and that's now the bottom of the saber, and that's top. So you'll have to work it out to get it clocked in properly. You can either use these little spacers you can get from the custom saber shop, and they'll go in there, and then it'll like adjust it, you know. Or you can sand away some of this so it'll just keep turning until it gets there. I don't know how much experience you have putting sabers together, but you know, it is kind of a trial and error kind of thing. So then you take this, and this is the extension piece, which, you know, as you can see, that's the extension piece before I put anything on it. Ooh, that'll wake the dead. And then you put that on, tighten that down. Let me zoom out a little bit. And then you put your, you know, as you can see, now the speaker would be right there, you know. Then you put your pommel on. So bam, got a whole saber. And then whenever you need to charge it, you just, grip it here and do like that. And then you can unscrew it to charge it. And also what comes with the lightsaber as well is, let me see here, is a twist kill key, which you would have had. And then that'll go right in there. So actually this is a, I got it in there wrong, too tight. This one is, there we go. So that'll just go right into place. And then, oh, also, let me see. If you look in here, see how there's that little tab there, right? Let's see, right here. That little thing there. You want to have that positioned. You can see here, there's that little nub. Now, when that's pointing at that, and I made it so that on this here, that'll indicate your on position. You want to position that little nub so it's right at the top, okay? Or the pointing towards the front of the saber. So that this way, when you turn the kill key, that little part will be your on position, right there. So then when you turn it sideways, it'll be off, and when you turn it this way, it'll be on. So you never have to remove this except to charge it. I sure hope all this is making sense. Let me put this back in here. I forgot to. No, here, I'll show you what I mean. See? So there's it's an off position, and then it turned on. See? Off, on. So when you put it, when you're storing it, you just flip that to the, sideways, so your lightsaber is off and the power has been killed, so you don't have to worry about it going dead. So yeah, I hope that helps you get it all straightened out. I hope that makes it simple. If you have any more questions at all, just let me know. I'll see what I can do about sending this video to you, hopefully in one piece. It's like gonna be 19 minutes by the time I'm finished with this. So yeah, and that's all there's to it. And then if you ever need to service it, you would loosen up your retention screw wherever you put that to hold your blade PCV in. This way you can just basically unscrew this, get it out of the way, and then you'll have access to everything. Your switches will all be in here too, by the way. So you'll have drilled holes in this so your switch can go through. Once you get it all tightened on and everything in position, then you can put your switches in, but you'll figure it out, like I said, if you have any questions. So the nice thing about it is, with this design, is it does make it easier to do maintenance if you have to. If a wire breaks, or for some reason maybe you have a bad recharge port or you wire it wrong, you're not disassembling everything out of your chassis. It makes it real easy to kind of service it. So I hope that helps. I probably should make a more formal video where I'm doing an actual install, but I hope this will work out for you.